Hello guys, in today's video I'm gonna be talking about Lancelot, one of the deadliest assassins in the game, and also talk about how Lancelot works in full detail, including his builds, emblems, and also tips and tricks to pave your way to victory with Lancelot. Unlike other heroes, to be able to use Lancelot, you must have a good understanding of how his passive and first skill works. Instead of explaining it the long way, which will confuse most of you, I'm gonna try explaining it to you in the easiest way possible. Every time you use his first skill and dash towards the enemy, you deal 100 physical damage to enemies along the way, and you also leave behind a sword mark to the enemies that got hit with his dash. The sword mark has a cooldown of 5 seconds, and you cannot hit the same enemy twice with his first skill. If you hit an enemy who has the sword mark, your first skill will not get reset, and you will have to wait for the cooldown. But if you dash on someone without the sword mark, your first skill will get reset and you'll be able to use it again right away to hit unmarked enemies or to even escape. And also, every time you dash with Lancelot, your passive gets stacked up, and the more stacks you have the higher your damage will be, and his passive can get stacked up to 4 times, which lasts for 4 seconds. Any kind of dash will trigger his passive, meaning you can also get stacks with the help of his ult or even flicker.
This is the perfect sanction.
And also make sure to take advantage of hero training mode, and keep practicing his dashes for 5 or 10 minutes every day, so that you won't get rusty when using them. Something important you should know is that you're gonna need a good device and network to be able to use Lancelot smoothly. And even though Lancelot has this unique set of skills with tremendous capabilities, he is very hard to master and tricky to use in various situations. So a good player must need an in-depth understanding of the map to bring the best out of any hero. Now let's talk about his early game. Lancelot is a very fast jungler, and like most of the other assassins, it is very important to farm early and reach level 4. Start with the purple buff at the beginning and then go for Litho. And after securing Litho, I'd recommend you to continue with your farm and reach level 4 first before you start ganking lanes. And before taking the turtle, pressurize the enemy to fall off and then secure turtle. And always try to stay ahead in gold, otherwise, it will be difficult for Lancelot to shine in the mid-game. And now let's talk about his builds. For his builds I'd recommend you buy tough boots or CD reduction boots, and for his second item start building Blade of Heptesius. With this item Lancelot can slow down targets and deal extra damage by ambushing. And for his third item go for Hunter Strike. This item is good for CD reduction and physical penetration. Also, the movement speed passive of the item can be easily triggered by Lancelot. And for his fourth and fifth item go for Endless Blade and then Malefic Roar. Endless Blade will enchant your basic attacks, and Malefic Roar will help reduce the enemy's armor and also give you extra physical penetration. And for his last item, people usually buy Immortality, but I'd recommend going for Rose Gold Meteor. The shield provided by the item can be a life savior and open another window of chance for Lancelot, all while providing you 60 plus physical damage and 30 plus magic defense. And when it comes to emblem, the assassin emblem is the best for Lancelot. Now let's talk about his mid-game. In the mid-game try to wait for the right moment and try to pick off enemies with low HP. Always focus on the enemy mage, marksman, jungler. Try to ambush them from the bush, or dash through the enemy lines to get a hold of them. Don't dive in too deep without his second skill and ult, because these are the skills that are immune to all damage and Lancelot becomes invulnerable during the duration of these 2 skills. And when using Lancelot, make sure you play carefully when playing against enemies like Ruby, Sylvana, Saber, Kupra and Mincethar, because these are the heroes that can counter Lancelot. And you must also try ending the game as soon as possible, because when it comes to late game, the enemy is going to buy defense items to outdo the burst damage of Lancelot. So make sure to build items that gives penetration damage to be able to pierce through those defensive items. And during late game, you should prioritize waiting for the right moment, and also looking out for off-positioned enemy heroes. Focus on enemies mage and marksman, as they are very squishy and easy targets for Lance. And don't rush in very early in the fights, rather try to wait for the perfect moment and assured opportunities of securing kills. Even though Lancelot can dash through enemies and deal high amounts of damage, you need to remember that he is very vulnerable and weak against burst damage and CC heroes, and most of the time, enemies will specifically save their CC skills and wait for you to come in so that they can kill you, so you also have to make sure that the enemies who can stun you have already used up their skills before you dive in. His high mobility, immunity, and burst damage capability make him one of the trickiest heroes in the game. In the hand of a fast finger player, Lancelot can easily go in ganks, dive towers, and execute any squishy hero of the opponent's side with a single combo. A good Lancelot player is hard to catch and always bursts down the enemy's carry. As Lancelot is a hard-to-play hero, he needs to be mastered properly first, which is not easy compared to other heroes, and I'd recommend you keep your graphics setting to the lowest and refresh rate to the highest, to be able to use Lancelot smoothly. Sometimes you need to sacrifice your cool skin effects to have a better experience while using him. Lancelot is one of the most iconic heroes in the game and undoubtedly the most fun-to-play hero in MLBB. He's also an excellent pick for ranking up. Lancelot is definitely a good pick for the current meta. A fast-hand Lancelot gameplay is a treat to watch. Some of the professional players have given jaw-dropping Lance performances over the years, which makes the hero very popular. The amazing skill sets and handsome outlook is surely enough for a player to make him his main hero. Let me know what you think about Lancelot in the comment, and also make sure to leave a like on the video, and consider subscribing to my channel if you like my videos. You guys motivate me to make better videos. Thank you for watching.